I was involved in an underground movement to resist the worldwide government. I was going to a movie with some friends from the law firm where I work. First, I had to go to the home of Connie, the firm's office administrator, to wait for Nicole, a coworker I don't know so well. Connie had just bought a new piece of furniture, a captain's chair that could dance and sing sea shanties. It was quite boisterous, and as it performed its musical numbers, it would strut up and down the stairs between their basement living room and their upstairs dining room. I tried to turn it off, but I couldn't figure out how. Connie told me not to bother. Nicole arrived. She told me we had to hurry. We got into her convertible and started driving toward the mall. I needed to find out where the movie was playing and when. I asked Nicole to wait in a parking lot next to Sears while I used my laptop to access the wireless internet at the mall. I started to access it, but Nicole said we had to hurry, so we left. We were running away from the law. We went to a Super America gas station to fill the car with gas. While we were there, I saw a giant advertisement projected onto the driveway of SA. It was as if the driveway surface was a huge movie screen. The advertisement was for a documentary about the state of the world we lived in. The name of the documentary was Lies They Tell About War. I realized that I was supposed to be making a documentary. There was a machine in the back of Nicole's car that was used for filming documentaries. It was a kind of robot shaped like a giant pentagonal tortoise with no legs. The camera lens was like its head, and it had a neck that could stretch out hundreds of yards and snake around through tunnels or pipes. I picked up the camera robot and carried it with me. I needed to get it to the filming site where we would be able to expose the war conspirators. In order to get there, we entered the underground sewers. As I walked, the camera robot was sending its camera head way forward, peering into and exploring various drainage pipes. We arrived at an enormous concrete wall with a thin wrought iron ladder scaling it. In order to proceed, I had to climb the ladder up the wall. I thought I wouldn't be able to make the climb because it would be too hard to carry the robot, but the robot was helping by snaking its head up through the rungs of the ladder and pulling its body along. At the top was a vast court which I traversed. On the other side of the court was another wall with another ladder I had to climb down. We did this a couple more times. Finally, however, we got to a point at the top of a ladder where we couldn't go any further. Instead of letting us up to a court which we could traverse, this ladder led us to a ceiling. There was a small trap door in the ceiling. The door opened up, and David Duchovny, the star of the popular TV series The X-Files, was there, staring down at me. He said he wanted to interview me for the documentary. Through the hole, sometimes I could see his whole face, sometimes I could only see his mouth. He said, "You don't trust me to interview you the way you should be interviewed, do you? Do you think it's possible for people like me to actually understand your cause?" I replied, "Oh, you can understand just fine. I've spoken to interviewers who understand." At this point I could only see his lips talking. "Even though we don't believe?" he asked. I replied, "Yes, even though you don't believe. But understanding must lead to action, and action requires commitment, and commitment is the soul of belief."
Well, don't you hear the old man say, "Oh, yes, oh." Just one more pull, lads, then